88.2 Sanyu FM Rocksu with Into It, bringing us to 12 minutes past the top of the hour. It's the Sanyu Breakfast Show with your boy Patrick Salvado. I'm joined by Piper, and we're here talking to somebody very interesting in studio. We got this guy, I've worked with him, we've done amazing things together, and I'm very, very humbled that he accepted my invitation to come to studio. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, in studio we have the one, the only Cedric Baboon Dilima.
My brother, are you? Thank you for having me.
Cedric.
10 years I've known this man. 10 years. 10 years.
The last time we met, we had a very wonderful, lengthy conversation. Was when I was doing your show. How is your show going, man?
Man, it's going well. I mean, it's now. You can imagine it's 2 years.
Yeah.
Since we kicked off the show, and we've had great guests. We've had good feedback. It keeps improving. So it's like everything else. You just got to keep going.
Yeah.
And building the momentum. And of course, we need to work with these young guys, Piper and Nicholas, and all these guys on your crew.
Yeah.
So they can give us some wings to fly on social media.
But well done on the show, because man, it's a very beautiful show. I like how you are composed when you're asking people to talk about their lives. It's something. It says it's not everyone can have that skill. So well done on the show, man.
Thank you, brother. And I hear you have a show too.
Yeah.
With the missus.
Yeah, the missus. Actually, it's the missus' show. I'm actually just supporting her.
Oh, you're the guest.
Yeah, I'm the guest. I am the supporting guest, because she didn't want it to be a one-sided kind of interview.
Yes.
So every time we have an opinion, there has to be the man's view and the woman's view.
And yours is usually wrong.
We don't have to go into detail about that.
It's okay. So we'll keep watching the show and praying for you.
But man, 10 years of knowing it's been amazing. I want to thank you first of all. I'll never take this for granted. You were the first guy who paid me my first 2 million, more than 1 million shillings for a show I've ever done. I remember when we were having that meeting for the client, and then I saw the pay slip, how much you were paying each service provider and each individual, and I saw my name and I saw the amount. I was in shock. I thought later you would call me and say, yeah, it is this amount, because you
1 0 is missing.
1 0 is missing. But you gave me the full amount, and I was like, this guy.
Yeah, man, right now I wish I could have it back. I wish I could have it back. But listen, thank you for remembering. You're doing a service for my company at the time, Kinetic.
Yeah.
So I always felt like the arts industry, the entertainers, weren't paid as much as they should be paid.
Yeah.
And some of the figures that I used to hear about used to shock me.
Yeah.
Somebody going to do a gig and they're getting 150,000 shillings, and the guy comes off stage looking like he just ran a marathon. It wasn't really fair, but we did our best.
So you decided to shock us instead?
No. I think sharing is caring, and because of that, we're still friends 10 years later.
Definitely. And I want to say big up to Kinetic, one of the labels that managed my career, and I think you're the guys who helped me learn what they call branding.
Yeah,
that's one thing I didn't know.
You've done a good job. You've done a good job. I hear you're going coast to coast, country to country, continent to continent. And I know when you sold out is it the O2 Arena?
The Wembley Arena.
The Wembley, that's even better.
Yeah.
You sold out the Wembley Arena, and I personally couldn't believe it. But I was really proud. And I wished I was in London, but at the time I was here. So congratulations to you for building your brand and becoming who you are today.
I wanna pick your brain here for a minute. There's something about you that I admire, like 100%, and that is your persistence.
Yes.
You have done projects. Some of them have really, really excelled. Some they have worked out, and then there are others which have really frustrated you.
Yes.
And not because of your own doing, but because of so many factors that surround you. What keeps you going? What makes you say, regardless of what happened, I have to continue moving?
Sometimes I don't know, because I look back on some of the projects that we did. Take, for instance, I think what you may be referring to is we had a lot of success with, for example, an event like Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
Which was the biggest sports and entertainment event in the country at the time. And then we had a scenario with Beneath the Lights where everything just went south.
Yeah, because honestly, if I was here, I would be depressed.
Yeah, well, I was close.
Yeah.
Actually, I did get depressed.
Yeah.
But I was able to isolate, I guess compartmentalize my depression from having to wake up in the morning and do what I have to do next. So I think persistence comes in that, listen, things happen.
Yeah.
You do good things, you make mistakes, and you just keep going. You can't blame other people
Yeah.
for what has happened to you. And I think persistence comes from knowing that, there is a brighter tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
that's
you
true.
just keep going, just keep going, just keep doing your best, keep working hard. It's tough times, but nothing remains the same forever.
We definitely are cut from different cloth, because me, I would have broken down. I would have gone back to Mbokolo. I would have started looking for other ways, because you invested not
Yes.
just time but a lot of money
Yes.
in some of these projects.
Yes.
And somehow you were let down. And that's the thing. It is not because of your own doing.
Yes.
You were let down by having too much trust. Why do you have too much trust?
I think it's human nature. You can't really, when everything is good, you tick the boxes.
Yeah.
And say I worked with great guys. I worked with Salvado. I worked with Rionga. I worked with Braba Daba. We worked
Yeah.
with many different people. We
Yeah.
worked on sports projects, and for the most part,
Yeah.
it was pretty good. And then, you bump into one. The case of one rotten apple spoils the rest.
The rest, yes.
And then you're like, oops, maybe I shouldn't have trusted that person so much. But
That's true.
you can't live your life being paranoia is good, because sometimes it will save your life.
Yes.
But most times, you've just got to measure people. Like if
Yes.
you have a friend who drinks, don't meet him in a bar.
That's very true. Very
You
true.
understand what I mean?
I have tried
So-
to avoid
so-
you. It has failed.
Now, if you have a friend who likes the drink, don't meet them in a bar. If you
Yeah.
like a friend who likes money, don't meet them at the ATM. It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
So everybody has their strength and everybody has their weaknesses. And as you get older,
Yeah.
you begin to appreciate the good in people, and then you also appreciate what's not so good.
Yes.
And don't tempt them.
Yeah.
We all have friends who have different, I would say, persuasions.
Yes.
Don't tempt the persuasion.
That's very true.
Yeah.
It's not big. It's no surprise that recently, when you announced that you had joined politics, I was actually not surprised. I was one of the first people who sent you a message, and I told you, bro, I'm with you till the end,
Yes.
because I am not surprised of your leadership skills, your patience,
Yes.
and your trust, your belief in people. We're going to talk about that journey, because it's a very interesting one. Because it's something I've never known you for,
Yes.
and now that you're going through it, this is something I really, really, really want to know about. Your desire to join, to become the member of parliament for Kampala. A new journey politically. I am not surprised by your, taking this new path. But what are some of those things which have inspired you to say, you know what, I need to take on my love and show my people of Kampala what I'm capable of?
As you go through the years, as you know, I came from a sports background. I also was involved in tennis.
Yeah.
I'm the president of the Tennis Federation. And, of course, with Kinetic, and now working for the national broadcaster.
Yes.
I realized, on many different occasions, there was a frustration that people were feeling, and sometimes they echo it in bars, restaurants, hotels, and most of it is really, a bit of people complaining.
Yeah.
But I kept saying to myself, but if it's so important to you, why don't you do something about it?
Very true.
So the next thing was, okay, I listened to politicians. Of course, I come from a political family. There's no denying that. So
Yeah.
I grew up listening to a lot of issues,
Yeah.
political issues. And something inside me said, you know what? Maybe you need to get more involved
Yeah.
in helping to define not just my own destiny, but that of my children. How do we get involved? How do we make a difference?
Yes.
How do we become that person that Salvador 10 years ago can go to and say, listen, I have a career, but I'm a bit stuck.
Yeah.
How do I move to the next level? And, as they say, you're only a sum total of your experiences and the people that you meet.
Yes.
So when you put that all together, it builds into one sort of unit. And aside from wanting to share my own experiences
Yeah.
with the people, but teaching people that we, as the residents of Kampala
Yeah.
and Ugandans can be better at what we do
Yeah.
and how we do it, how we express ourselves. I guess that's the foundation of why I want to get into politics.
People are going to look at your background, your upbringing. You know, you grew up in a well-to-do family. You went to some of the best schools, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't think he's going to represent our values as Omuntu Wawansi." Have you had any chance to interact with Omuntu Wawansi?
Yeah, I don't really like the term Omuntu Wawansi. I'd rather refer to them as Omuntu Wabulijo.
Okay.
I think that's
Oh,
more
that is-
appropriate.
that is a very interesting one.
Omuntu Wabulijo. And I think that, as a lot of people who will say to me, "Oh, you've not been to the ground," they themselves have not been to the ground.
Yes.
So some of their things are, well, he should go to the ground.
Yes.
Come, let's walk together.
Let's walk
go
together,
to
yes.
the 136 villages in Kampala, to Tambule Fena, and then we
Yes.
judge
Yes.
what the people are saying. And what the people of Kampala really need is a connection between themselves and the leadership.
Very true.
And this is where the frustration is. Omuntu wa bulijjo
Yes.
has to eat today.
Yes.
Your ideological concepts
Yes.
are great,
Yeah.
but not at that level.
Okay.
What needs to happen is we need to find a way. An MP's job is to legislate,
Yes.
but an MP can lean on the powers that be
Yeah.
to try to make something happen.
True.
It's about leverage. So how do we use these positions as leverage to help our people in Kampala?
Wow. Maybe people will say I am biased because I know you, because I know who the kind of man you are. I don't know. How can you let the people out there know that this is something you have had a lot of thought about and it's something you actually want to do?
I think the first step is like being on shows like on radio stations like 88.2. There's never going to be a case where I meet 100,000 people from Kampala Central
Yes.
and the 1.7 million people in Kampala.
Yeah.
I'll never meet all of them.
True.
And now with the current situation and where we are with COVID-19, the issue of rallies is even becoming a lot harder.
Very harder, yeah,
So
true.
I have to actually find a way
Yeah.
to communicate to our people through the mediums which they use best,
Yeah.
which in Uganda's particular case
Yes.
is radio.
Okay.
Social media, yeah, okay, to some extent, but social media is expensive.
Yes.
For Muntu
Very
wa
true.
bulijjo,
Yes.
it's expensive. So how do I take the message to them?
Yes.
And the best way to do that is through radio and through great ambassadors like Piper. I don't know if Piper, oyogera Luganda?
Of course.
Oyogera Luganda? Teka mu Twitter.
Yes.
So we have to take it to the people.
Yeah.
And hopefully they will buy into what it is that I'm trying to sell.
Yeah. People might say you are coming onto the ticket of the NRM, right?
Yes.
So people are going to say because of NRM and what is going on in the current situation, the party is not doing enough. People in arcades are complaining. Some people have not gotten food. You as Cedric, how would you approach this in case you are in a position of leadership, in case you're in a position of power, in case you're in a position of decision making? How would you approach this problem that Omuntu wa bulijjo is going through, especially the guys of arcade, boda bodas, saloon guys? For you, how would you approach it?
You see, this is not a one-man job.
Yes.
What happens is that you have structures
Yeah.
within Kampala. I'm going to tell you, for example, all of you know there's the LC1.
Yes.
There are 136 LC1 chairmen in Kampala.
Wow, you counted.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
20 LC2s.
Yes.
40 plus councillors that
Yeah.
represent KCCA.
Yeah.
This is not a responsibility for one person. But what we need to do is to get all these people to sing off one hymn sheet.
Wow.
In terms of one objective.
Yeah.
Now, once they do that,
Yeah.
you are able, as the leader of these particular people, to take the message to the leadership. It just so happens that the leadership is an NRM government.
Yes.
The majority of people in government come from NRM.
Yeah.
I am NRM as much as anybody else is DP, as much
Yeah.
as anybody else is People Power.
Yeah.
This is where I come from. This is my family.
Yes.
We may be having family problems,
Yes.
but it's still my
But
family.
it's still your family.
It's still my family. This is
Yeah.
where I come from. And my responsibility as the next generation,
Yeah.
if that's what they want to call it, is to try to improve the communication between the leadership and the people at the grassroots.
Wow. Amazing. We're going to come back after a break. I've never known Cedric to be
You're surprised.
I've never heard you.
You
in
know,
the political
I
side.
read books. I read books.
Do you consider yourself a politician or a leader, or what would you consider yourself?
You know what? I've never answered that question, but I think I gravitate more towards being a leader.
Ah, wow.
And it's only because of my experiences.
Yes.
So I have to teach my young brothers like Salvado
Yeah.
many years ago about branding, like he said at the beginning of the show. But I guess, now I'm into my early 40s.
Yes.
It's important now that most of the population, I think 80% is younger than me.
Very true.
So
Very true.
let me be their leader.
Yeah, please
I can't
do.
be following 25-year-olds.